welcome to my channel. My name's Yvette and you're here at Pixie Prints. Today I wanted to welcome you to File Folder February, where we are going to learn to make this adorable ephemera holder from file folders. This ephemera holder can be used for storing ephemera. It can also be used for helping you to prep with your junk journal builds by tucking all of the ephemera that you're going to use for the build within its pages. It is an adorable little folder. It's got wonderful pages. It's got large pockets, small pockets, 4 pages full of space where you can keep your ephemera. It's going to be a wonderful time, so let's get started. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at this kit. I just think this kit is so awesome. I can't wait to play with it. We're going to start with the solids. This is 20 pages, by the way, which is an awfully huge kit for a freebie. This is a beautiful green. We've got a solid mustard, a cream color, this olive color, and this stone gray. Now it's followed up by some printed seamless papers. This really light sepia mushroom. And here we have it in an olive green with sepia. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this stone gray color taupe. And this beautiful, beautiful sage green with just a hint of pretty mushrooms and ferns and botanicals. Then we have we've got some tags, some that have a little bit of color, some labels with a little bit of color. Here are some more labels, some specimen labels, some ovals, some different shapes. We'll cut those out. Here we've got some specimen slides, some accent circles with some botanicals in them, some journal cards, some small journal cards. This is called a specimen sheet, and you can use it just as it is, or you can cut it apart and use it for fussy cuts. Sky's the limit with what you can do with this page. And we're going to round it out with our beautiful washi tape. This is going to be fun to play with. And then a sheet of mushroom fussy cuts. Okay, well, let's take a look at the supplies we're going to use. Let's start with the star of our show. We're going to be using these file folders today. And this is going to be the basis for our Ephemera Folio. Then I know for sure we will probably use a corner rounder. The basics, we'll use a knife, a ruler, probably my cutter, some scissors for sure. And then we're going to probably use, I know I'm going to use some ink, my glues for sure, Fabri-Tac and art glitter glue. Maybe we might use a scoreboard, possibly my Memory Keeper's crocodile for adding some eyelets. And then I have a whole host of different kinds of things to play with. Some laces, some brads, eyelets, some nice hardware for a closure maybe. I haven't decided if I'm going to use a fabric closure or if I'm going to use maybe, I got these really neat little guys here that are used for closing jewelry boxes. Let's see if I can get this open real quick and show you. We've got these little guys. That might prove to be quite fun. Let's see if I can find the top part to it. Oh, here we go. So we've got that. We'll put those together with some brads Quite possibly, I've got some metal plates. I've got a different kind of closure here that's kind of neat. And this one is used on jewelry boxes as well. This little guy just locks together like that. And then lastly, if I use a ribbon to close, I'll probably use this little guy. He's pretty cute. Should have gotten these out ahead of time. But it's like a little doorbell knocker, isn't it neat? There. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put it like this. It's like a little doorbell knocker. It goes through with the screw, and then you put the ribbon or lace, whatever you're going to close it with, the fabric that you're going to close it with, you tie it on here, and then you can wrap it around and tie it. And I have those in all different kinds of colors. All of this hardware I got at Amazon. I can put the link of whatever I decide to use at the bottom so that you can find them. And, well, let's get started. This is going to be a fun play because nothing was planned out in advance. I kind of had an inspiration that I made for my my mother-in-law that she just absolutely loved, and I did it in an Arabian theme with lace and glitter and everything. But I thought it would be really neat in the vintage mushroom. So let's get started on our ephemera folio, and let's grab our file folders and decide how we're going to cut these. I decided to use the sage green, not that I think that it's going to show or anything, but if it does, at least it'll be green and it'll kind of go with the kit. We're going to be utilizing this part of the file folder for our spine. It's really convenient to have those there so that you can put the spine together on this, and I'll show you how. First, let's cut it and decide how the length of what we're going to use and the width. So I think if I go ahead and score these, I'm going to score this one on the second one so that I have two of those lines showing, because this is going to be the cover, and it'll be the outside. And I'm just going to kind of crease them. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and crease it. Now you can see that we're going to have this spine that you can see. I don't know if you can see the spine like that. And then the next one, I'm going to fold just one in. And this is how we're going to glue these together. I haven't decided if we're going to glue them together or if we're going to use an eyelet or a brad to hold them together. I got some brads too. And I'm just going to fold this little guy. It's kind of tough. He doesn't want me to fold him for sure. You can see my real-time struggle with getting this to fold. I don't know why this is so hard, but oh, there, finally. And you can see that this one folds just a bit smaller. And once we cut this, they're going to sit right inside of each other like this quite nicely. Just like that. And we're going to have 4 pages, and we'll bind them together right here. So let's decide how wide and how tall. I think a nice size might be I think I'm going to go 6 wide. Yeah, I think 6 wide will be nice. Oh, maybe 7 wide, and it'll use most of the front of this. We'll go 7 wide, And we will go, let's see, we'll go 7 by 10. How's that? That'll be really nice. We'll still be able to use our papers really well. Let's mark this and we'll get it cut. Okay, so we decided 7 by 10. So I am going to mark this. I'm going to flatten it. If you notice, so that I get it all right, I want to measure from this crease here, the top crease. So I'm going to push it out this way and measure up 10, because that's how tall I want it. There we go. We're going to mark right here at 10. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to mark 7. Just like that. Then I'm going to flip it over, and on the back side I'm going to push it over so that the back crease is here. And again, I'm going to go up 10. And I'm going to go over 7. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to bring out my cutter because I cannot cut straight, so I wouldn't even attempt to draw a line. For some reason, I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler. It's crazy, but... And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Actually, I'm going to cut it across like this at the 10 mark. Just like this at the 10 mark. Let me do it this way so that I can open this up and lay it flat. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. There. And then I have my mark here. So I'm going to set this side in here and cut at my mark. And doing it this way will ensure that I have taken into account the spine when I'm cutting it, because I don't want it to come out. I want both sides of the spine to be equal. I don't want them to come out lopsided. And there we go. And now they're both exactly the same. You can see they're the same. Perfect. This is a smidgen short. Look at that. I didn't even get it right. Let me measure this again because I want that to be right. I want those measurements to be right. So here is my ruler. And this bottom piece is supposed to be 7 inches. Exactly 7 inches. And now this one should be 7 inches. And I bet it's off. Oh, it's right. Maybe I was just holding it funny. Okay. So now, let me think about this real quick. If I slide this in here, this should still be 7 by 10. So let's measure. We'll flatten it out and we will go 7. There we go. By 10. And we'll flip it over. And flatten our spine again. And do 7. Five, 10. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it. I'll bring my cutter back, and I am going to cut the 10 here like I did last time. There we go. And now we'll line this up and do the 7 here. And the 7 here. Perfect. And now we're gonna check to make sure that they fit inside and that the pages are appropriate. Yeah, there we go. That little spine is going to sit just like that, and the pages are going to be perfect. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think they are. Let's hold that down. I think I'm going to trim the inside just a bit. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because it keeps, if you notice when I'm checking it, it keeps sliding over. And I think once it's flat in there, it'll be perfect. So we're going to leave it. Okay, so 7 by 10. And here we go. We have our folio. So our ephemera folio. So what's going to happen is we're going to cover these. We'll add some pockets here and here, and I'm going to show you how to work with vellum today. I think the best thing for the pockets is going to be vellum so that you can kind of see through them. If you use cardstock and cover them, you won't be able to see what's inside. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's see what papers we're going to use. I think I want to use, I printed out a bunch of everything just so that I would be sure to have enough to cover both pieces, and this is the hardest part, is deciding what you want to use. Let's see. I just don't know. Let's use this one. And I'm going to do a two-tone. So we're going to make this kind of unique and different. I'm going to use these two. Love how they just go together. Let me make sure I have enough of that one. Well, yeah, I'm going to use these two. I like these for my cover. Oh, good. I have enough of both. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to do this kind of like wallpaper, I think. When I'm covering this, I'm going to want this top piece up high. And I'm just going to put a small band across the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that I have this over a bit. Yeah, just like that. So I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac down. And I'm going to leave it away from the side because I'm going to set it down, but I want to be able to turn that, and if I have it all full of glue, I won't be able to do that. So I'm just going to glue down the sides that I know are going to get glued down to the folder. There we go. And then I'm going to take the folio and I'm going to line it up with just enough so that I have enough to go make a nice fold around the sides and the top. I think that one's going to be a clear winner unless this one is just outstanding. This one is has a little stretch to it, but we'll see what it looks like. Oh, I don't know. I like that one too. I think I like the other one better though. This one kind of, I don't know. Let me hold it up. This one kind of gets lost. I kind of like how that's an accent. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay. So I'm going to find the right side. Lace has a right side, by the way. Smooth side is the back, and the lumpy side or the raised side is the front. I wonder if this might be a good time to bring out some. Nah, I'm going to leave it plain like this. I was thinking that maybe I should bring out some washi, but I think this is plenty. Well, I don't know. We might have some pretty washies in here that would look nice. Add some color. No, I think I'm going to leave the front just that way. I think I'm going to put this lace on the front and call it good. I think I like this. Okay. Just going to lay a little bit down. Right across that line. Here we go. And I don't know if you've noticed in our builds, I always leave a little extra on the end so that I'm sure that I can clip it. And that's just to make sure that if it shrinks, it's got some writing up that it's going to do. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So there we've got some pretty little lace. And you know what? I think to make this look really finished, I don't think I'm going to cut that off at all. I think I'm going to cheat and put a little bit of glue in here. And just pull that over, and then when I cover the insides, it'll be done. Yeah, it'll cover it up, and so it'll be a little finished that way. So now what to do with the cover, what to do. I do know that I'm probably going to put something over the spine, and maybe, just maybe, we can put some pretty pockets. Let me fold the spine so I know exactly where that spine is going to be. There. Oh, that's looking kind of nice, I think. I don't think I got that paper very straight, but that's okay. We'll move the lace to make it look straight. How's that? Let's pull that down a little bit. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to print some something pretty off on some cardstock, and we will make some pockets for the front. Okay, normally I like to have a 2-inch pocket, but I think this time I'm going to go 2 1/4 so that it's a little bit larger. Since it's on the outside of the journal, nope, I actually think I'm going to go 2 1/2. since it's on the outside of the journal, I want to make sure that I have a decent sized pocket. And then I'm going to cut that by 7. So I'm going to cut 2 of these that way, actually. And I'm just going to have the back mirror it. So there's one. And then I'm just going to take this same piece of paper and do another 2.5 inch wide. Well, 2.5, yeah, by 7 inches long. And let's see how that fits. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to like that. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to round my corners. Those beautifully covered corners that I just did, I'm going to clip them and round them, which means on here I'm going to leave one corner. Well, I'll speak of it here in a second. Okay, corners are all rounded. There we go. Okay, now to make these fit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round just this corner, and possibly, well, we might possibly go, let's see. Yeah, I think I might round these corners. I might round them all. I'm going to round them all. And then I'll ink them. So we're going to round them all. I'm also going to put a thumb notch in it. Remember, to round corners, you don't have to use this. You could even use this little guy. See, he's almost the proper size, or almost the same size as my corner rounder. You can put him down, trace him, and then cut out what you traced. The same with this one. Instead of using a punch like this, you could use something like, I have my chain on this spool, and you could use your spool and trace around it and cut it out. So there are ways to get around using the fancy tools. And I'm just going to kind of try and sort of get that right. Yeah, okay. Let me do the back one real quick. We'll do all the corners. There we go. And the center. There. And now I'm going to take, I'm using scorched timber. I think that'll be really pretty with this kit. And I'm going to go around. Yeah, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that it's earthy without being grungy. I don't want to grunge it. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Look at that. Okay. The same with this. Just going to go around it real quick. And I'm just about ready to glue it on. But I'm going to think about what I want to do on the spine, because I'm going to want to cover the spine first and then put this over the spine, so that whatever's poking out over here gets covered up by the tag, by the pocket. I don't want the pocket, I don't want to lose any of the space of the pocket by doing it after I do the spine. Okay, so I have a few things that I wanted to try out to see how they would look. First, I have this, it's like a cotton almost, a cotton ribbon. And I thought it might look pretty. So I'm just going to be just white enough to go over the side of that. That's kind of nice. And then I have this plaid ribbon that's a little bit thicker. Oh, I like that. And then I have this white kind of a, I don't know. I think that one's going to be a clear winner unless this one is just outstanding. This one is has a little stretch to it, but we'll see what it looks like. Oh, I don't know. I like that one too. I think I like the other one better though. This one kind of, I don't know. Let me hold it up. This one kind of gets lost. I kind of like how that's an accent. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay. So I'm going to find the right side. Lace has a right side, by the way. Smooth side is the back, and the lumpy side or the raised side is the front. I wonder if this might be a good time to bring out some. Nah, I'm going to leave it plain like this. I was thinking that maybe I should bring out some washi, but I think this is plenty. Well, I don't know. We might have some pretty washies in here that would look nice. Add some color. No, I think I'm going to leave the front just that way. I think I'm going to put this lace on the front and call it good. I think I like this. Okay. Just going to lay a little bit down. Right across that line. Here we go. And I don't know if you've noticed in our builds, I always leave a little extra on the end so that I'm sure that I can clip it. And that's just to make sure that if it shrinks, it's got some writing up that it's going to do. I'd rather have too much than not enough. So there we've got some pretty little lace. And you know what? I think to make this look really finished, I don't think I'm going to cut that off at all. I think I'm going to cheat and put a little bit of glue in here. And just pull that over, and then when I cover the insides, it'll be done. Yeah, it'll cover it up, and so it'll be a little finished that way. So now what to do with the cover, what to do. I do know that I'm probably going to put something over the spine, and maybe, just maybe, we can put some pretty pockets. Let me fold the spine so I know exactly where that spine is going to be. There. Oh, that's looking kind of nice, I think. I don't think I got that paper very straight, but that's okay. We'll move the lace to make it look straight. How's that? Let's pull that down a little bit. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to print some something pretty off on some cardstock, and we will make some pockets for the front. Okay, normally I like to have a 2-inch pocket, but I think this time I'm going to go 2 1/4 so that it's a little bit larger. Since it's on the outside of the journal. Nope, I actually think I'm going to go 2 1/2. Since it's on the outside of the journal, I want to make sure that I have a decent sized pocket. And then I'm going to cut that by 7. So I'm going to cut 2 of these that way actually. And I'm just going to have the back mirror it. So there's one. And then I'm just going to take this same piece of paper and do another 2.5 inch wide. Well, 2.5, yeah, by 7 inches long. And let's see how that fits. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think I'm gonna like that. Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna round my corners. Those beautifully covered corners that I just did, I'm gonna clip them and round them, which means on here I'm gonna leave one corner. Well, I'll speak of it here in a second. Okay, corners are all rounded. There we go. Okay, now to make these fit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round just this corner and possibly, well, we might possibly go, let's see. Yeah, I think I might round these corners. I might round them all. I'm going to round them all. And then I'll ink them. So we're going to round them all. I'm also going to put a thumb notch in it. Remember, to round corners, you don't have to use this. You could even use this little guy. See, he's almost the proper size, or almost the same size as my corner rounder. You can put him down, trace him, and then cut out what you traced. The same with this one. Instead of using a punch like this, you could use something like, I have my chain on this spool, and you could use your spool and trace around it and cut it out. So there are ways to get around using the fancy tools. And I'm just going to kind of try and sort of get that right. Yeah, okay. Let me do the back one real quick. We'll do all the corners. There we go. And the center. There. And now I'm going to take, I'm using scorched timber. I think that'll be really pretty with this kit. And I'm going to go around. Yeah, oh, I like that. I like that. I like that it's earthy without being grungy. I don't want to grunge it. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Look at that. Okay. The same with this. Just going to go around it real quick. And I'm just about ready to glue it on. But I'm going to think about what I want to do on the spine, because I'm going to want to cover the spine first and then put this over the spine so that whatever's poking out over here gets covered up by the tag, by the pocket. I don't want the pocket, I don't want to lose any of the space of the pocket by doing it after I do the spine. Okay, so I have a few things that I wanted to try out to see how they would look. First, I have this, it's like a cotton almost, a cotton ribbon. And I thought it might look pretty. So I'm just going to be just wide enough to go over the side of that. That's kind of nice. And then I have this plaid ribbon that's a little bit thicker. Oh, I like that. And then I have this white kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a cord, a weave. That looks nice too. But I think I really like that plaid. I'm kind of leaning towards the plaid. I like the plaid because it gives a little bit of texture. It interest, I think. So let's do that. So this fabric, this ribbon is a wired ribbon. And so I'm going to show you how to take out that wire. Super easy. Save the wire. It comes in handy later. Not in this project, but you can save it for beading and for threading. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this right here and I'm going to push it through till I can see the little thin wire. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here. And I'm just going to give that a pull, just like that. And I'm going to pull that wire right out. And again, I'm going to do that here. I'm going to give it a tug. I don't know why I have that stuck to my finger. There we go. And now I can use the wired ribbon that normally you wouldn't want to use on a project like this. And we're going to put this little guy right here on the spine. So I'm going to start with the spine. I'm going to put my glue down. I always like to start with the spine first when I'm doing something like this because that allows me to center it. I can tell where my center is when I do that. So I'm going to lay this just like that so I have even amounts on both sides. There. Perfect. Just gonna pat that down a little bit. Can actually do it like this. And then I can flip this up and put some glue on this side. Oh, this is going to be nice. I'm really enjoying this kind of earthy feel. We just finished a nice tour of some grunge and metal, and now we're going to go the other direction and do some earth stuff for a little bit. Here's this. Perfect. There we go. Nice. I'm going to give it a little tug. Try and slide it a little bit. I didn't leave enough there. I'm going to have to come really close up there if I do it that way. See, I didn't really leave enough of my fabric. Well, we might do it anyway. I like to leave a little bit more than that so I don't have to come so close to the edge when I'm covering the inside, but I think it'll be okay. Nope, this is just not wanting to stick. I'm going to cut that off. I don't want to take the time to wait for it, so I'm just going to trim it down and cut it off. So I'm going to cut the bottom first. Let me bring this into view so you can watch me trim close. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same over here. I'm just going to trim that right off. And I'll tell you, I'm just being lazy. I just didn't want to wait for it. I did not want to wait for that glue to dry or even to become tacky so that I could do this. So there, let's see what it looks like. Oh, very lovely. Look at that. And I like using this ribbon because now I don't have to put anything over the top because it's just finished now. the side is, it's just finished. So now I'm going to glue on my pockets just like that. Quite lovely. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac since I'm gluing next to that ribbon. And then I'm just going to go real close to the edge all the way around. Place it down like that. There we go. There. And the other side. And I just got these fabulous, absolutely fabulous brads that I think I'm going to put on the corners of this to add some more interest. I want to put some hardware on it. There. Might trim that a little bit more. It's not sticking out from under my pocket like that. There. Okay. Nice. So there we have the back. Now the front. Let me grab those brads. Okay, so I got out my brads and I found these. Now, these are a little bit larger. Could use those. Got these that are a little smaller. Could use those. And then I found these, but I didn't have enough of these to do all 8 corners. So I could just do the top corners. Those are really pretty, but I think these are kind of like a little suede brad, and I think I'm going to put those here. I think that would be really pretty. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the dark or the mustard, that mustard color, but I'm going to save those for the spine. I think I am leaning towards this little bit larger one. Those are really neat. Let's see, I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So we'll scooch those over there. I might use those later, but for right now I'm just going to use those. And you can use your awl to punch a hole. I'm just going to use the smaller side of my my tool here to do this. My crocodile. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was called. There. And here, and I don't know if it's going to be long enough. Ooh, did I drop it? If it's going to be long enough to go all the way in. Nope. So I might have to do something very naughty because I don't have my awl. And kind of just push a hole right there. So we'll do that one first. There. It worked. And we'll push these down like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put all of these brads in real quick. Gosh, that's going to be lovely. Just spectacular. Nope, I don't want it there. I want it like that. And I'm not going to have to cover these with anything because the paper will cover them. That's kind of why we're doing it all right now, is so that when I cover the inside, we'll be able to cover up these brads, whatever else we put on it. This is the same time we're going to need to think about our closure, because we're going to want to be able to decide on that. There. Oh, that's going to be nice. Look at that. Okay, let me do these. Yeah, we're going to need to think about our closure because if we use one of the hardwares, we're going to need to be able to cover up the brads, because if we use hardware, that's what we'll use. We'll use a brad to put it on. Be very careful if you use your knife to do that. It's probably safer to use an awl. But I didn't bring my awl out because I thought my crocodile would work, but that's what I get for thinking, huh? There, let's see. Yep, I want to make sure that that didn't get caught up in that fold. Put these all in. Oh, so nice. Oh, this is going to come out so nice. I'm so excited. And do you guys see how easy this is? It is so easy. Anybody can do it. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the back done. We've got the front done. Let's think about this cover a little bit more. I'm going to want to decorate this pocket. Maybe, just maybe, I will put another pocket at the top. Yeah. And I need to think about this closure a little bit. Okay, let's think about this for just give me a moment and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I decided. I decided that I'm going to go ahead and put a plate right here, the top in the middle, right above my little circle there. And I'm going to use this one, this little door knocker dude. We're going to put him right there, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I was terrible and didn't grab my awl while I was up and about running around. Oh, wait, it's right here. I happen to have it closer than I thought. I should have just reached over and grabbed it in the first place. So, I'm going to grab my awl because it's much safer than trying to shove a knife through that. And I'm going to decide where I want this little guy. And somewhere in the center is fine. And I'm going to put it over. I'm going to move it over into here a little bit more because I don't want to have to come so close all the time to that edge when I'm covering. And basically all this is it's a little screw, and I'm just going to put it right up through there, just like this. And then I'm going to take this little guy and I'm going to twist it on. I'm going to get it started anyway. And the little kit, it's so neat. It comes with its own little screwdriver. So once I get this started, to tighten it up, I'm just going to grab the little screwdriver. I'm just screwing it on. I don't know if you can see what my hands are doing, but I'm just screwing it on. Now I'm going to hold this bottom piece and see how it's got like that little Phillips head? It comes with this cute little screwdriver. I'm just going to give that a tight little twist. There. Now I've got this cute little door knocker kind of thing. Okay, and so now for this one, I'm going to take those out real quick. I'm going to set this where I want it, right up here. And later on I'll probably make a stamped thing that says journal or ephemera or something that tells me what's inside here. Maybe I'll even just fill it with mushroom ephemera. I don't know. But once we decide, then I'll put a little tag on it that'll tell us what it is. There. And so now I know where I'm going to poke my holes. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my awl and poke my holes real quick. I'm going to put these back through the holes on here, just like so. And then I'm going to put them through the holes, just like that. Now, with this little plate, you have to realize that the bottom end seals close, but the top end doesn't, so that you can get your piece of paper through there. So make sure that you get it on the right way. You don't put it in upside down. I've done that before. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, is there anything else I think I need to do to this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do these little guys next. The brads that I was going to put the buttons on the corner, because I want, when I glue in the second panel, I want it to hide those. So let's see, how many am I going to put? And am I going to put just brown? Am I going to put brown and the yellow? I don't know, it's such a hard decision. I have 5 of each. I think I'm just going to do the brown. I like the brown. So let's see. I guess I could measure this out and see where I could fit evenly. Oh, let's see. If I come in, there's 1, 2, 1 and 9. That leaves me 8. So if I go in an inch and an inch and I go over, the math is too hard, it's hurting my brain. I think I have to go half. 3, 9, 7, and 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1. Let me make sure I've got my spine there. So I'm gonna go 1 and 9, and then 3 and 7, 3 and 7, and then halfway between that is 5. If you look at that, they might even be evenly spaced all the way across. And now I'm just going to punch the holes and put them in. Did I? Oh, darn. I'm going to have to move this one over just a smidge. Because I want them all down the center of the spine and not... Okay, close enough. I want them all down the center of the spine and not off to one side. There we go. Oh, it's going to be so cute. Look at all those buttons. I'm putting them all in because I want to see what it looks like, because maybe I want to go back and put just the regular brads in it. I'm not sure if I like that. Let's see what one of these other brads would look like. Might match it better. Oh, yeah. I like that better. So I am going to go off camera real quick, grab 5 of the same size of these brads because I have to dig for a bit. This is what I keep my brads in right now. I really need to get a compartment to, I don't know if you can see that, but I really need to get something to a tray to divide those up into so I can get at them a little bit better. So I'm going to dig them out, be right back. See? Oh, that looks much better, I think. So now I'm just going to flip this over very carefully because I didn't put them all down. And I'm going to turn them all over and make sure that they're all nice and tight. I don't want a lot of give here. There. And there. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a little floppy. And so I think to give it a little more sturdiness, I'm going to print out the papers that I'm going to use on the inside on cardstock. And then we're going to go ahead and line the inside of this file folder. Okay, while I was off camera, I was doing a check. I just did a real quick check, and I wanted to make sure that I'd gotten everything done that I needed to do before I covered the inside. And I was thinking the cover looked a little bit plain, so I decided to go ahead and make it another pocket. And I want to draw your attention to this as well. These were really big, this larger size, and I found the smaller size and thought it looked a little bit better. So I went ahead and switched them out with the smaller size here too. And we're just going to glue that pocket back on. And we're going to move forward. Don't forget to, when you're doing a pocket with brads, you need to make sure that you cover the inside with washi so that your paper or whatever you stick in the pocket doesn't get snagged up on those brads. And we're just going to take this little guy and make sure that the thumb holes are kind of lined up, and just press that down and glue it. There we go. Okay, so now for covering the inside. We're going to start by cutting out, measuring, and then cutting out the inside of here. Now we don't have to worry about covering in here because of the fact that the next folder that we cover is going to go glued down in here. So we just need to come up close. And so I'm going to grab and measure, and it should be a perfect, oh, look at that. We're going to go 6 3/4 by 9 3/4. And so we're going to cut out 2 of those, 6 3/4 by 9 3/4. Okay, I decided to go with this olive color. And so we're going to go 6 1/2, 6 3/4. By 9 3/4. Perfect. And I'll cut out the second the same. Six 3/4 by 9 3/4. Perfect. And now we're going to see how they're going to fit on the inside of the journal, of the ephemera holder. So it's going to be just perfect. Look at that. Right there. Right up to the line, right in the corners, and the same with this one. Leaving just a space for that. Nice. Nice, nice. Do I have leftover of that? Oh, I do. I even have a piece that I could use on the inside of that if I wanted. No, I think it'll be okay without it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and round the corners and ink. Around each one of the corners. And ink. perfect. Okay, I was trying to think of things, ways that I might use this ephemera folder, and this one I decided is probably going to be used for journal builds. So what I mean by journal builds is that I'm going to use it to collect all of the things that I think I might want to use when I'm building a journal, so that I have all of the fussy cuts and little pieces handy, and I can just build, and I don't have to bring everything out. I can plan it out and have it setting out and ready. It's one way I could use it. And the other way I could use it is just for ephemera storage. Because this one is larger than most journal builds, this one is going to be probably for external storage of some kind. And it's really fun. You should really try it. You should try building these in all different sizes. Okay. There we go. Just a nice clean finished edge, and now we're going to put some glue on it and lay it down. I'm using my Fabri-Tac, and the only reason why I'm using the Fabri-Tac instead of the art glitter glue is because it comes out faster. I'm kind of impatient. I want to see what this is going to look like. Plus, this will give me a little bit of give when I lay it down. I can adjust it if I need to. Art kind of glues really fast. Okay, so here we go. Lay it down. Make sure I come over far enough to hide all the ends that need to be hidden. Give this a little tug. Moving slowly, but it's moving. There. I got really a lot closer over there than I did over here. I'm going to pull this up and move it. See how the Fabri-Tac gives me that ability to do that. There we go. Notice I didn't get that brad covered, so I'm going to just give it a nice shove in there. Now there it goes. Okay, one more. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna push this brad in real quick because I had it sitting out kind of wonky. And there we go. Put it all down. There. Nice. Nice. There. Now we have it covered. Sweet. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build the pockets, and I'm going to build pockets on the insides of both sides, and when we go to cover the other piece, it'll just be a duplicate of what we're doing here. So what I'm going to use for the pockets is a material called vellum. Okay, and the reason why I'm using vellum is because if you look at it, first of all, it's a pretty sturdy paper. But the best part about it is that you can see through it. So when I make a pocket like this, I'm going to be able to see whatever it is that I'm tucking inside. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make some larger pockets on the insides, and then on the inner pages, I'll make smaller pockets for smaller ephemera. So I think for this one, I'm going to start out with the same sizes on the front, 2.5 inches, and put a couple of 2.5 inches on both sides, and maybe some smaller ones on top. So I'm going to pull out my cutter again. And I'm going to cut at 2.5 inches. And I've got 4 pockets so far, and we'll see how that plays out here in just a minute. There. Now I'm going to bring this back, and this will allow me to have one there. Oh, nice. If I play my cards right, I can put 3 on each side. Perfect. So I went ahead and cut these all down to 6 3/4 inches long, because that's how long this inner plate is. And the only ones I'm going to round the corners on are going to be the bottom pockets. And I'm doing that because I want them to blend in with the rest of the, see, I want them to blend in. I don't want them to stand out. These can stay this way because there are no edges to compare them to. I could, if I wanted to make it look fancy, I could go ahead and round those corners, all the corners, but I think I'm just going to leave it just like this. I might round the top ones so it looks a little more intentional. No, I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm going to leave it. I can always round them later if that's what I decide. So I've got my pockets right about where I want them. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue to put glue around the edge. Now, you have to be real careful with art glitter glue because every place that you glue on vellum, you're going to see. So you want to take your time and just run a nice thin bead of glue around the edge. Just like this. And then we're going to glue it down. Now while this is, you can see the white on it, it will dry clear just like that, but it's going to be lumpy. I think I have heard that Barely Art glue will dry a little bit better on vellum, but I haven't tried it, and I don't know. I haven't found anything that works any better. So that's kind of where we're at with this one. Okay, since it's going to take a while because I want to get a nice thin, accurate gluing, I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones off camera, and then I'll come back and show you what the finished pockets on either side look like. Okay, so this is what the wonderful pockets look like when they're done. You can see you can put larger pieces of ephemera in all of them, the little fussy cuts in all of them. But I can't let it go. I thought I could just leave it like this and be okay with it, but I'm a finish it off kind of girl. I just have to have the finished edges. So what I'm going to do is I have all of these lovely, lovely pieces of washi that come in this kit, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some washi along each one of these like this. And then I'm going to lay, once I'm done, I'm going to lay washi here and washi here to finish it off. Now I'm going to lose a little bit of the pocket area, but I think that's okay. I think that'll be okay. I'll put this washi over as far as I can so it just covers, barely covers the edge, and I'll round the corners on it so that it, I'll use my, let's see if this will work. I bet it will. I'm going to use my corner rounder and see if it will round out the corner of this washi tape. Yeah, see? And I can just set it just like that so I don't lose that rounded corner. And yeah, and if I push this over far enough, I can salvage a lot of that pocket as well. So I'm going to do that off camera, and once I've laid it all out and got it all done, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did. Also, another thing, because I have to finish everything out, I just don't know what it is about me. I'm going to go ahead and ink these edges so that they're not so rough looking. See how that kind of just finishes it off? So I'm going to go ahead and finish that off camera. And now that you've seen what I'm going to do, just remember when you lay these down, you need to do all the bottoms of the pockets first, inking both sides of the washi before you put it down, and then you can lay your end pieces to finish it off. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, not quite done, but I really didn't want you to miss out on this part. I wanted you to be able to see the layout of what it looks like after you do just the bottom rows on all of the pockets. Now what I did do here was I rounded the corners here, and the pieces on top will have them rounded as well, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you that. All I did was that I stuck them in my corner rounder, but be really careful when you do that because one of them kind of got chewed up, so I had to reclip it. It worked, but it doesn't really like the thinner pieces. The thicker pieces of washi it's okay with, but once you get to the little thinner pieces, it wasn't real happy with me. So I just wanted to show you this. So now I'm going to put on the two ends and the two ends, and I will show you what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, so this is what it looks like when all the washi is laid down. I can't do it though. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a piece up here. I know we didn't talk about it, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I might even lay a piece down in the center just to help cover those up so that the center folio pages have a place to really adhere to once we put glue on them. I just wanted to show you that you still have enough room for at least two of these bigger pieces in each one of the pockets, and you still have full range use of all of the pockets. Even though there's a little bit of washi on the sides, it didn't seem to bother it too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put those two pieces on and be right back to show you, to talk about the next steps. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Now just a real quick reminder, if you're using traditional washi, don't forget to put a little piece of glue down, a little bit of glue down to hold it down, because traditionally washi isn't meant to be permanent or as a finishing product like this. I'm really lucky that the washi tape paper that I use from Amazon is pretty sticky. But even here in the middle where I know that it's going to get a little bit more use, see how it's already buckling in the center. I know that that's going to happen, so I went ahead and put down some glue even on mine right down the center. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cover the other, put the pockets in, and show you how to mount or adhere the next two the next pages into the center of your ephemera folder. Just a quick mention, since I'm doing this off camera, it's exactly the same as this procedure of covering this, covering both sides, and when we come back it'll look exactly like this one did, just unfinished and with pockets on it. Okay, just a real quick little check-in. I wanted to make sure that you got to see the stages of this. So I went ahead and covered it, and then I made, this is a large pocket for large ephemera. So this is like 5 inches. You can put things like bookmarks and big tags and things in it. And then this is another 2 inch. The next the next pages into the center of your ephemera folder. Just a quick mention, since I'm doing this off camera, it's exactly the same as this procedure of covering this, covering both sides, and when we come back it'll look exactly like this one did, just unfinished and with pockets on it. Okay, just a real quick little check-in. I wanted to make sure that you got to see the stages of this. So I went ahead and covered it, and then I made, this is a large pocket for large ephemera. So this is like 5 inches. You can put things like bookmarks and big tags and things in it. And then this is another 2 inch. I then continued the same layout on the back side. The same 5 inch pocket with the 2 inch pocket. Then on the inside, I went ahead and did 2 inch pockets and then 1 inch pockets. These are going to be for medium size ephemera or tags and things. And then these will be for smaller ones, like the little discs in the mushroom kit will fit up here, or really tiny tags. And like I said before, I just love it because you can still see what's in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to go ahead and finish all of the washi tape, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And then after we walk through that, I'll go ahead and show you how to put this inside your ephemera folio. Okay, great. So here we have it. We have the front with the 5 inch pocket and the 2 inch pocket, and the flip side with the 5 inch pocket and the 2 inch pocket. And then when you open it up, you have this beautiful page. This will go ahead and finish off as soon as we get it glued in. But this is what it looks like so far. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to bind this in here with glue. So we're going to reopen this, and right down this center we're going to use the Fabri-Tac, because I want a really strong hold on the center. We want the pages to really be held in here tight. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right down the center like this. And then we're going to take this center page, making sure it's nice and flat on this side and everything is turned in. If you have any loose edges, you want those all turned in, and we're going to set it right here in the center and hold it for just a bit until it gets tacky and holds. There. That's gonna sit just like that. There. Now we're going to let that sit for a minute or two while it gets tacky and holds in there. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to take my ink and I'm going to just run it over the edge, because I want to make sure that there isn't a lot of white showing. So I'm going to ink up my dauber really well, and I'm just going to run it right over the edge like this, making sure that I get all of these edges so that they look finished. Beautiful. All right. So now all that's left is to do the closure. And for the closure, I'm going to use this kind of rustic looking fabric. This was actually a curtain that I got at a thrift store and just tore strips to make this fabric into ribbon. The beauty of this is that this is what I have left out of 2 curtains. I've had this for about, oh, I want to say 3 or 4 years now. So it's really gotten we've really gotten its use. There we go. We're going to make sure those loose ends are done. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lark's head right through the center, making sure that I have just enough to tie a bow right here at the end, and then the rest needs to stay long so it can wrap around. And I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I pull it through. So here we have the shorter end to tie the bow, and here we have the longer end to wrap around. And I don't think it'll wrap around twice, so we might just be able to get one good turn out of it. Then we'll tie a bow. And I'll clip the edges. Trim the bottoms so that they look pretty. I'll trim that off right there. That one's just about the right size. There. That was the finishing touch. So now we'll open it back up, make sure that it's all nice and glued down. And you can see how it's going to open up. Still not tacky, but as soon as it dries it will be. You'll be able to open it like this, and then the second page will open like this. It will open up in the center and then in the end. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to finish this off while I have a chance. And I don't know if I'm going to put, let's see, I think I kind of want to tie it all together with the front. And so I think maybe just a little row of lace would be pretty. So I think I'm going to just put a little dab of glue all the way down the center and then finish it off with the lace in the middle. I think that kind of ties it all in nicely. Here we go. There. It's quite lovely, actually. I like that better than the washi. So I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to pull out my mushrooms and see if we can't add something cute to the front. We're just about finished. Okay, great. We just have a few finishing touches. So I did some fussy cuts, and I did this little coin, and I thought it would be really cute to have this coin on this pocket here. And we're going to layer this cute little mushroom on top. And then in the bottom corner, I thought we'd do something similar with this coin. And this mushroom, just like that. There you go. Wow, so cute. Okay, real quick, I'm going to clean up, and then we're going to do a final flip through, take a look at what we created today, and talk about what's going to happen next week. Great, well now let's take a look at our finished project. So cute. I just love the kit. We went ahead and covered this file folder, making sure that we had matching brads and a pocket on the back, and embellished it with some of the mushrooms and botanicals from the kit. We used the little door knocker brad. And then when you open it up, you have all of these marvelous pockets. 5-inch, 2-inch, 3, 2.5 inches. And then you're going to have 2-inch, 1-inch for smaller pieces. And then repeat with the larger pieces. All trimmed out in washi tape and finished off. Adorable, wonderful, wonderful project. I had so much fun doing this one. It's so cute. There you have it. An ephemera folio made right out of a file folder. Well, thank you so much for spending some more creative time with me. It was really a wonderful time. I just wanted to make sure to let you know that I'll be back on Wednesday with some more fabulous projects from file folders. And until we meet again, make something magical. Bye-bye.